The sun rises beyond the city walls, but he does not greet it from within the town. His home is set apart, near the edge of the graveyard or beside the tanner's quarter, far from the lives of ordinary citizens. Though he serves the law, he is not welcomed by it. The townspeople avoid him in the streets. Merchants refuse his coins. To many, his touch is cursed, and yet his services are essential. Without him, justice cannot be carried out. Welcome to a day in the shadowed life of the town's executioner. His mornings begin in silence. He rises early, long before the town comes to life. His dwelling is modest, simple tools, a hearth, and few comforts. On some days, he walks the perimeter of the town, avoiding paths where others might cross his. Dogs growl. Children stare. No matter how long he's held the post, he never stops feeling like a stranger in his own land. Some men choose this path willingly. Some inherit it from their fathers, and some are forced into it. For example, criminals given a single choice: serve the blade or fall to it. Records exist of men pardoned for murder only to become the town's official punisher. Once the role is taken, it clings to a man like a second skin. Even if he performs his duty well, he is never free of it. In some cases, children of executioners were not allowed to join guilds, own property, or marry outside certain circles. Some families became executioner dynasties, known across regions, hired from city to city. There is no room for error in this line of work. The instruments must be kept in perfect condition, blades sharpened to a fine edge, ropes strong and secure, and iron heated properly for branding. Unlike regular weapons, the executioner's sword was wide, heavy, and without a sharp point. It was never meant for battle, only for delivering death with a single, clean stroke. In some families, these swords were passed down through generations. The blades often carried engraved words like "justice" or "let God be my witness." There was no official uniform for this role. Often, the executioner have simple, dark clothing. Sometimes he pulled up a hood or cloak to shield his face, but in most towns, everyone knew exactly who he was. The famous image of the black-hooded executioner came much later, shaped by stories and paintings. In truth, his isolation was his true mask. His face was familiar but unwelcome. Every execution is a test of control. The man tasked with punishment must be calm, calculating, and precise. One failed swing, one frayed rope, and the crowd's outrage could turn dangerous. He studies the body not to heal it, but to end it quickly. He learns where to strike to ensure death is instant. Some say he practices on animals or logs. Others claim he receives instruction from older masters of the craft. His goal is mercy through efficiency, a clean stroke and quick drop. Sloppy work is not only shameful, but traumatic to all who witness it. A good death, ironically, is his duty. The marketplace is transformed into a stage. A wooden scaffold, erected by carpenters the night before, becomes the center of town. The condemned is led through the streets, often in chains, surrounded by guards. The people gather early. They climb barrels and crates for a better view. Vendors shout over one another, selling wine, bread, and boiled eggs. The man of the hour walks with practiced stillness. No emotion and anger, only routine. The town official reads the sentence aloud. Sometimes a priest stands nearby, offering the last rites. Then, before thousands of eyes, justice is performed. If the blow is swift, the crowd cheers. If it takes more than one attempt, murmurs rise, followed by shouts. The performer becomes the villain. No one wants pain. They want a story and quick ending. As the blood darkened under the sun, the crowd began to drift away from the square. The body, or what remains of it, is dragged away. If ordered, the severed head is mounted on a spike near the city gate as a warning. Limbs may be nailed to walls. Sometimes corpses are burned, especially if the executed was accused of heresy or witchcraft. The man responsible for this grim work receives his pay without ceremony, in coins. For example, in medieval England, an executioner could earn a nice sum. A simple hanging might give him around 10 silver pennies. A beheading with a sword paid more, sometimes 20 or even 30 pennies because it needed more skill. If the person was rich or important, the payment was higher. On the other hand, when the executioner failed, the crowd became angry. A bad execution brought shame. In some places, the executioner had to pay a fine. Sometimes, the punishment was stopped and done again the next day. There were even times when the person was forgiven, because people thought God had sent a sign. His job does not end with the swing of a sword or the tightening of a rope. In many towns, he is also the official torturer. Before some executions, he is ordered to extract confessions using pain. He knows how to use the rack, the thumbscrews, and the Iron Maiden. In some places, the executioner has another right, to claim the clothes and belongings of the condemned. After the body is removed, he collects shoes, belts, and even jewelry. Sometimes, these small items bring more profit than the execution fee. His knowledge of the human body also makes him useful in other ways. Towns sometimes call on him to examine unexplained deaths. If someone is found murdered, he is asked to study the wounds and say what weapon was used. Without knowing it, he becomes one of the first forensic experts in history. After this cruel performance, he walks quickly home, avoiding every eye. Doors close as he passes. In his quarters, he washes his hands, scrubs the blade, and hangs his tools back on the wall. The blood fades, but not the memory. He remembers the face, the eyes, and even the last words. He does not drink in taverns or dance at festivals. Some cities ban him from markets, forcing his family to shop through intermediaries. His children carry the same burden. They may be healthy, kind, or skilled, but their name follows them like a curse. Yet, in times of plague or rebellion, the town remembers his worth. He is called to restore order, to enact justice, and to represent authority when fear rules the streets. His status shifts from shame to necessity, then back again when peace returns. He exists in a strange balance, always needed but never embraced. When the lights go out and the town sleeps, a quiet knock might come at his door. A farmer with a festering wound, a thief with a broken limb, or a widow with a sick child. He knows more of the body than most priests or merchants. Through necessity, he's learned the healing arts, herbs to fight infection, cuts that need stitching, and bones that must be reset. It is the one service he gives that earns no coin. The people he helps never speak of it. They leave before sunrise, heads low. It's an unspoken contract. He fixes what he can, and in return, they pretend they never saw his face. In these moments, he is not a punisher. He is simply a man with knowledge, trying to do some good in a role built on pain. Most of these men do not escape the post. They die in it, buried in unmarked graves beyond the churchyard. But a few, like Franz Schmidt of Nuremberg, leave behind a story. Schmidt kept records of every execution he performed, over 300 in his lifetime. His notes reveal a man both methodical and moral, concerned with justice as much as skill. In old age, he was granted freedom by the emperor. His children were allowed to live normal lives. For most, however, their stories are lost. Their work is remembered in local myths, their names forgotten. Through their actions, cities changed, laws were written, and fear became part of everyday life. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more stories from medieval times, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you won't miss the next upload. See you in the next video.